Hey, this is the Riot Podcast for Monday, October 15th in the year of our Lord, 2018.
We hope you had a wonderful weekend.
Did you have a good weekend?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm tired this morning.
It's hard.
I mean, it's like every day now.
I know there's no difference, but it is hard when you come back from Monday and you're like, gosh, I'm exhausted from the weekend. When the weekend was you relaxing from the week. Well, it's just hard to bounce back.
And it's like cold and rainy outside.
Yeah,
and
where
it's
we
just
are.
Like, dude.
It's snuggle weather.
It really is. You could totally climb back into bed at any moment and feel great about it. So, hey, in the podcast today, we talk fry pies, iron fists, generic Doritos, cauliflower stuffing.
Oh, that's on my grocery list.
The CrossFit work of the day, pirated movies, mummy posters, insurance fraud. Which I think, like, we could really be onto something there.
And
but
that's a personal idea for insurance fraud, by the way.
Yeah, it's
this
right
isn't
where
a
you
story
live.
about, that. It's something that hits home closer to where we're at.
Yeah, and a bear with a jar stuck on its head.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed the podcast. Don't forget, you can always follow and check out more Riot stuff through RadioU Riot on Facebook and our YouTube channels under RadioU Riot too. Okay.
Sorry, everybody, but it had to happen. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
What's worse than finding grounds in your coffee? Finding grounds in your coffee while listening to the Riot. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
You know, Nikki went to the pumpkin patch this weekend. How'd that go?
It went good.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, we went to like the maze area and the food area.
Did you do the corn maze?
We did like the mini one.
Uh-huh.
So, because the other one seemed like a big commitment, and I didn't know if I was ready for that.
Yeah, I did one, but I did the big one, but took a map with me.
Yeah.
And I was through it with the map in about half an hour.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not. But then I started thinking about things like, what if we didn't have the map? Or like, what if we weren't paying attention?
This one, they're like, yeah, it's 8 acres. And I was like, I think that feels big to me.
That sounds like a lot.
That seems like a commitment. And so I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just try that one over there.
I want the feeling of having really done it without the effort of really having to go through it like that.
I didn't want to go through an hour-long corn maze, but it was fun and it was a good time.
I totally get that. So in the middle of that, I saw Nikki's pictures and I was like, hey, get me a fry pie. My thought is, I said to her, get me a fry pie, and my thought was she would be like, get your own, shut up, whatever. And so instead I come in today.
That's not the attitude we try to have, right?
And here is a Swiss-made, fresh, handmade Buckeye fry pie, which is peanut butter and chocolate filling.
Yes.
These are...
They're like
sublime.
If you go to the gas station and there's these, I never knew they were called fry pies, but it's like the Hostess apple or the cherry pastries that come in like the little white plastic baggy thing. Those are good themselves, but these are like the homemade version of it.
You haven't actually tasted one yet. Because when you taste this one, you'll be like, wait a second.
And this one has like chocolate pudding and a layer of peanut butter. It's really good.
Oh, it is good. Oh.
So that can last you a day or two, depending on how fast you want to eat it.
I'm not ready for it yet. I just had peanut butter toast. Well, it's almond butter toast. I just had nut butter toast.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite ready for what that means.
But don't put
yet.
it under your bright light. Don't let it melt. Maybe it needs to go in the fridge. Remember, there's that hot spot over there? So just be careful with it.
Let's put it over here.
Just put it on the other side. There's this weird hot spot in one of the parts of the desk. So
that's true.
We put something there once. It's like, why did this candy melt? It's like, that's why. There's something underneath the desk.
It's funny. It doesn't take much, really, in order to get it to be warm right there. So
we don't want it to go away.
All right. Well, thank you, Nikki, for being the kind of friend that I never would be.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Friends by Friends Coke Freestyle Machines. We're all friends, right? It's the Riot on Radio U.
Okay, your CrossFit workout of the day is a single dumbbell overhead squat, 5 reps.
Okay.
Bench press, 3 reps. 5 attempts at a max set of triple unders. Do you know what a triple under is?
This would make more sense if we did CrossFit.
Okay. Scroll for scaling options, post loads and jump rope reps to comments. Ooh, gosh. 10 minutes of jump rope practice?
Sustained or?
What's jump rope practice?
Well, you'd probably jump rope.
Jump rope always gives me a headache. Does anybody else? Like every time, if I do actual jumping rope, I'm just like, man, my head hurts.
No, but I feel like we're way more confident going into it. You're like, this is for babies. It's the easy part, when really jump rope is still a very good workout.
Dude, it can be pretty darn intense. Like, I don't know.
So what is this CrossFit thing?
You know what? A friend of mine was just tweeting, and he was tweeting like what he did for his morning workout or whatever. So
CrossFit always looks a lot of fun. It looks intense and maybe a bit more than we're wanting to jump into right now, but it looks like a very good group activity. 5
attempts at dubs, no triples. 12 was max.
Duh.
You know,
all that. Of course, that's what you would do if we were doing CrossFit.
Well, this is my friend Chad, though. He does not work out at a CrossFit gym. He actually just works out on his own, and CrossFit posts the workout of the day.
Oh, they do?
So you could theoretically
do it on your own.
Do the workout of the day on your own, which is what he does every day. He just goes into the gym and does that and heads on to do whatever the heck he does.
Yeah, but I think the fun part of CrossFit, well, what looks fun from outside looking in, is it's always such a big group of people, and you're there to motivate each other. That part looks fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to work out with a group of people, though, because I don't want them to be disappointed.
But I don't think that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to encourage.
Right. No, I get that.
But you just are afraid.
Yeah, a little bit, sure. So
that's why you have to go in and pretend you're really bad. Like you have no workout ability. And then when you surprise them, people will just be really impressed.
I want to know what a triple under is.
Is it an ice skating?
I don't know. I'm good. Here, look, CrossFit, Forging Elite Fitness, the YouTube channel.
Triple under?
Here's a man. He's got... Oh, I think that you're supposed to... A triple under is 3 turns of the jump rope.
Oh, okay. We're still jump roping?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anybody do CrossFit? Does anybody do a triple under?
You do the triple under?
Can you tell us what it is?
No. That is what it is.
It is?
It's a triple jump rope. So you jump and get the jump rope around 3 times.
3 times while you're jumping at once?
Yes.
Oh.
I guess I wasn't clear. I'm sorry.
It's like, how do we do that? Now it makes sense.
5 attempts at a max set of triple unders. All right. I'll be honest. Like
these are words we don't like to hear.
I didn't even run today, guys. I came in. Nikki got me a fry pie.
Like it's a Monday. Let's not push it too much.
I am going to the gym today, but you know,
it's not that.
It's not this.
Okay, but if in case you're like, well, maybe I could do a triple under. Well, text us if you want, 877-2RadioU.
Let us know what your workout of the day is.
What is your tip of the day, and we'll add it to the pile.
Yeah, so thanks, Chad, for tweeting and making me feel like I'm not doing good enough. I always appreciate that. Now, granted, those feelings are my responsibility.
That wasn't CrossFit doing that to you.
That's right.
That was yourself.
That was me doing that to me after I saw his CrossFit posting.
Dear Radio U, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the Riot. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
So, did you hear the one about the Netflix show that walked into the bar and then got canceled?
No, which one's that?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist?
Yeah, the Marvel show. Iron Fist got canceled.
I would have thought they would have just let it go away, like never said anything about it.
That's what a lot of people thought.
But they're being vocal about it.
So technically it's not canceled. It just hasn't been picked up for a 3rd season. So Marvel made the announcement over the weekend.
There will be no 3rd.
Everyone at Marvel Television and Netflix is proud of the series and grateful for all the hard work from our incredible cast, crew, and showrunners. We're thankful to the fans who have watched these 2 seasons and for the partnership we've shared in this series. Now, dude will still be Iron Fist and will probably, they say, still pop up in some of the other Marvel shows.
Sure.
So he could show up in like a next season of Luke Cage, because in the comics, Luke Cage and Iron Fist are like buddies, friends, partners, like they do a whole thing together. So there's that. Then you've got, he could show up in Daredevil or whatever. Iron Fist is a bummer because if you go and read, I believe it's the Immortal Iron Fist. It was a comic series they did, and I don't know, somewhere in the 2000s. I read it on Marvel Unlimited. So good.
But
so good. If they had done that,
yeah,
you'd still be watching it.
For Iron Fist, though, I think that was one of the cracks in the Marvel Netflix world. Because, man, it was riding high there for a while. It was like, oh, Daredevil and Jessica Jones. And then Iron Fist came out, and now no one watches hardly any of them.
It does feel like it was a real momentum killer, right?
It lost all the steam. It was like it popped the balloon and let it all out, and that was it.
Well, it was that thing that let you know, like, up until this point, obviously everything was, anything Marvel did was just gold. And then Iron Fist came out, and everybody was like, what? Like, I don't think it's good. Is that
it's okay
probably
to say?
It's probably just me. Let me check the internet. Oh, it's not just me. A lot of people don't think it's very good.
So no more Iron Fist. They said you will get, I believe I'm reading this right, but a third season of Jessica Jones was ordered in April, and a third series of Luke Cage is expected to be told yes any day now.
And the most important thing that we can tell you about Marvel on Netflix, the third season of Daredevil starts on Friday.
That is correct. That's all done and ready to go.
That is fantastic. New Daredevil this weekend.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So get back to work. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, we've talked many times about your goat farm future.
Well, I believe you guys have pushed that on me. But we have teased that if the Riot, I can only do this for so long.
Right. And
what should I transition into? And for a while there, goat farming was pretty popular buzzword. Mm-hmm. Goat yoga, goat farm. So some people thought I should just move on into that.
So one of the things that Nikki and I have talked about, and I keep trying to convince her, you guys can even hear it in her voice right now. It's the hesitation.
The doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just nervous. I mean, that'd be my future. And I don't like goats.
You learn to like goats.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what we do. I get you a couple of baby goats and everything's going to change. In fact, I can already feel the blog/vlog posts about how you learned about how judgmental that you were
I was.
because of their evil eyes. And now you just love goats.
Baby goats.
Just so wonderful and it's the best and on and on and on.
I just don't know.
It's real, Nikki. I'm helping you with it right now.
So what about my goat farm?
Okay, so here's the idea behind the goat farm. Goat farms, it's not just a matter of, you can make goat cheese, you can sell goat milk, you can use them for goat yoga.
I think goat therapy, just like,
I was just about to say that.
Have a bad day at work, come to the farm.
Come spend some time with the goats.
I'm not too far out from work, so it's like a farm in the city.
Well, think about this. What if it was a goat cafe where you go in and a lot of the things that you're getting at the cafe, so it's like you can get goat milk
in the items?
In the coffee,
Ooh.
Goat cheese in the salad. I don't know. And it all comes from your goats.
And we talked about like a goat spa because goat products are really popular with like moisturizers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. How about this?
This sounds like money to me.
Tell me about it. Like, I am telling you right now how to monetize your love for goats.
I don't have a love for goats. I'd have to develop one.
Well, it's time to develop a love for goats so we can monetize it. Now, the other thing that I'm reading about here, this is an article about how, and this comes from the Beeb, about how in the BBC, this is in the UK, that's where the BBC is, they were talking about how a lot of places they rent goats.
Yeah.
You get the goats and they go ahead and they will like mow your lawn, basically.
So they eat the grass. They trim it so that you don't have to mow.
Right. Now, these guys are renting their goats out, and they say that this is an excellent way to prevent the spread of forest fires, because what you do is you take these goats and you set them loose in an area where there's a bunch of dried out brush.
And they'll eat it?
And they'll eat it. And it clears it out. So in a lot of ways, they say these goats are like firefighters. And I'm going to say, and I don't know this, but I'd be willing to bet that you can get some kind of a spectacular write-off.
Ooh, if I could.
Because they're firefighting goats.
And then I'm a hero for having the firefighter goats.
Well, because not only are you showing love for goats and people, your community pillar. You're a pillar in the community.
Thank you.
And you're helping to prevent the spread of wildfires.
I'm going to be honest. This sounds better than just, hey, it's the goat yoga lady. Like, that seems a bit just one-sided. Yeah. But if you take a second to step back, you can realize there's a lot of things I could do.
I have presented you with a well-rounded opportunity.
That's a business plan right there.
I know. Like, we need to plug in some numbers.
I need some
really
investors.
All that we need to do.
I think that's all I have left. If you want to invest in that, that's all I'm looking at.
Plug in some numbers. This thing is ready. It is ready. It's a turnkey business.
You're like,
Nikki.
why do you have so many any goats. You're like, look at all this stuff. Take the brochure. Look at all the things they can do for me.
The question is, why don't you have any goats? I got some goats I'll sell you right now.
I can sell them to you.
You let me know.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So over the weekend, I found myself in a position where I was making a quick stop in at the store. And they always say don't go to the store hungry, which is ridiculous because I found it incredibly easy to shop while I was there hungry.
Well, you're not supposed to go hungry, especially if you don't have a list, because you're just going to go off the list and go by your feelings.
I never have a list.
Well, then don't go hungry.
Oh, well, I didn't go hungry because after I got all that food, I ate. So it's totally fine. So I got in there, and I don't know what possessed me, but do you ever find yourself, like there are certain brands, certain things that I'm like, hey, I want the real deal. Like I don't want, store brand ketchup. I want Heinz ketchup. Simply delicious, it says on the label.
You have a couple of brand loyalties?
Jif.
Yeah.
I want Jif. Don't give me your Skippy. Don't give me, no. Jif peanut butter. Okay?
That's all he can do.
But I had this odd craving on Saturday night for generic store brand Doritos.
Really? I didn't know there was such a thing. Just like whatever is their version of the corn chip?
Yes. It's like their corn chip, and it's sprayed with whatever cheese. And it's hard to explain what the differences are. I mean, you can certainly tell that the Dorito is more of a premium chip, but there's also something more real.
More rugged
and raw about a generic Dorito. And I just wandered down the chip aisle while I was in there.
Do they have any?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did. Oh, now I remember why I was at the store. I was making s'mores, and I was out of marshmallows. And so,
just those basic things.
Yeah, so I was getting the marshmallows. I was like, I should get some generic Doritos. So I did. And let me tell you what, I think I'm about ready to make a bold statement. I think I might like...
Before you say anything you might regret.
I think I might like the generic ones better than the real ones.
This is Monday, Obie talking. So you come back to me later on Friday and tell me the same thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Saturday, Obie thought that the generic ones were probably better.
Well, you were wrong. You were just living off the high from the s'mores.
You think so?
Yeah, like if it was just push came to shove and it was the Doritos only, the chip time only, you would have preferred the regular Doritos.
I'm not sure. They were good. And do you know something else? They were only $1.50 for a bag.
Well, that's the siren's call right there.
$1.50 for a bag of those. The Doritos were $3.29. And I was just like, you know what? This is kind of like, I don't know. I guess it was just one of those things where I was eating and I just thought, you know what, Dorito, like fake Dorito, you're like me. You're real. All right? We're not as good as those other people. But
we're less.
We're pretty good.
We're less. We cost less. And
we're lower maintenance.
Close enough, right?
I thought those were delicious. So I sat there Saturday night eating a turkey sandwich, eating generic Doritos.
And s'mores.
And, well, the s'mores were later.
Okay.
And I just thought, I'm either living my best life or this is very sad. And I wasn't sure which one it was, but those generic Doritos were with me.
I think it depends on who you're asking. It's either the best or the worst.
Man, I thought I was good. I was playing Spider-Man, eating cheap Doritos.
Another good night.
Sitting around a fire, getting ready to make some s'mores. I don't know. Sounds pretty good, right?
It was the perfect Saturday.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the riot. Obviously. Radio U.
Hey, Nikki, hang on just a second. I believe the pot's on the phone. Yeah.
Why?
Pot, go ahead. Cuddle your black.
Yeah, why? Why are we saying that?
Because, you are, I believe, I'm not going to say throwing enormous shade, but certainly beginning to build a tent and or plant a tree in regards to me liking generic Doritos.
No, I just am surprised you would go all the way to say you like them more than Doritos because you always talk about how much you love Doritos. Mm-hmm. If you were going to be loyal to something, I thought Doritos would have been what you would have been loyal to.
No. Peanut butter, macaroni and cheese, and ketchup.
Those are your top ones.
Those are the three foundations. You can build out from that.
That's the pillars of the house that Obie is standing upon.
Well, those are the pillars of a healthy diet. Absolutely. But in the middle of all this, I'm eating generic Doritos, and Nikki's like, rice cauliflower stuffing.
Doesn't it sound good?
No, it doesn't.
Come on.
No, it doesn't.
Imagine you wanted to have stuffing at Thanksgiving and you weren't sure because you're not eating bread and bread is a big part of stuffing. This one's made out of rice cauliflower.
Yay.
Hey.
What a relief.
Where's the excitement music on that? Okay, sometimes you gotta fake it until you make it, right?
So we gotta sell it.
You could talk about the rice cauliflower stuffing. Oh yeah, guys. No, that's all we can come up with.
You wish upon a star.
Bread loaf
makes no difference who you are. When you wish upon a star, rice cauliflower stuffing will come to you.
It's a new healthy holiday alternative.
There's three words I don't want. Healthy holiday alternative.
Altogether.
You know what? I don't want the alternative. I want the original.
Yeah, I know. But
except when it comes to Doritos, apparently.
Well, true. And it's a holiday. So if you're like, I don't eat bread, but, it's a holiday. You could just make that okay that
so
day.
Nikki, you get up on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah.
You go to the turkey trot.
I'm doing a turkey trot this year.
Get a 5K run that morning. Then you come home for
rice cauliflower stuffing and
tofurkey.
Oh, yeah. That's a day, isn't it? I shouldn't party so hard.
Or do you say to yourself, screw it, it's Thanksgiving, give me a roll?
I haven't decided yet. It just depends on what people provide and what my answer will be.
I'll tell you this, when you get done with your race and you've got a medal on and they've gave you the shirt and you've got all that stuff and you're just like, no, rice cauliflower stuffing. You're going to the buffet. Nikki's gonna be hungry. Nikki's gonna be at Hometown Buffet or Golden Corral for Thanksgiving, just living high on biscuits and honey butter spread.
And just be like, it's okay, I ran.
Don't worry.
I worked out already.
I ran a 5K today.
Well, I think this sounds good. Because you can have it then not just on Thanksgiving.
It also has carrots, celery, onion, cranberries, garlic, and herbs.
So they have a rice cauliflower stuffing if you want. It's Green Giant, which that's fine.
Green Giant. Ooh. Perfect. Nikki, you're ready. I think
I'm going to be singing that when we go into the freezer section every time.
There he is.
No, it's just Nikki.
There he is. He's standing in the frozen food aisle. Hi, Green Giant.
Hello,
we should go shopping together. I don't think we'd be good for each other.
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Come on, people!
Don't yell! That's such a yell.
Why do you come at me like that?
Well, I feel like by yelling, it was coming after us.
Why do you do that?
It was just so convincing.
Nikki, that's me trying to get people
motivated,
excited and on board and stuff.
You're right. So, it's my insecurities about being yelled at.
You need to stop seeing it as yelled at. You need to see it as enthusiastically talked to. You need to see it as me caring enough to give my very best.
Best to motivate.
Because what I could have said was okay, we have to do the clapping again. It's Monday,
so
I'm so tired.
I think that's what people expect us to
say.
I
hate that we clap. No, Nikki, they don't. They come here for some clappy Valentino. They come here for somebody that is ready to get their clap on, but only when that plays.
Gotcha. All right.
And so the idea that you want me to,
tone it down. Back it down.
What are you doing? You don't want that. Come on, Nikki.
No, of course not.
You should be grateful.
Yeah, I want more.
Would you rather have me in another room staring at a computer and then I run in here at the last minute missing the clap altogether? Is that what you want?
That's true. You're right. Thanks for
being
here.
Is that what you want?
No, that's not what I want.
So I get loud a little bit. It happens.
Okay.
You know what? You do things that drive me crazy, like being timely and organized and prepared.
Prepared and ready to go.
These are the kind,
I'm sorry.
Do you know how annoying that is?
I am sorry. You're right.
Do you know how tired I get of you doing everything exactly the way it's supposed to be done consistently over time? Do you know how old that gets?
You're right.
So,
okay.
Just to be clear, there are two people in this room that are having a hard time.
And they both have problems.
It is not just me.
Okay. Well, we've got that down.
Okay. Go ahead and write it down. And,
yes, it's noted.
Have it, and we can
noted.
talk about it.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on RadioU.
Okay, so I don't know what the day it was, but it was a flight from JFK in New York to Boston, in which some people are on a Delta Airlines flight, and a woman grabs out her foot file. Is that what you call it?
Looks like it.
And she begins giving herself something of a pedicure on the plane. So she's using,
scrubbing her heel.
Yeah, that's how you keep yourself from getting those unsightly calluses, Nikki.
But you really, that's going to scrub the dead skin and
onto the floor.
Yeah, onto the floor. Did she put a towel down or something? Or
what do you think?
No. Is her coat down there or something?
What do you think?
That is gross. Yeah. Why is she doing that on the plane?
What do you do in that situation? You're across the aisle. Someone's filing down their feet.
Oh, you just stare and look and hope she notices that people have noticed.
You know what? Then she's probably like me. She'll just be like, then she just gets more blatant.
She gets belligerent.
She starts taking dead skin and throwing it at you.
This is totally like the lady. What this is you're going on vacation, right? And you just don't have time for preparing. And this is like the lady who was shaving her legs.
The first thing I thought of.
In the pool, and everybody shamed her. This is kind of similar. This is not as bad as that. That was way worse.
That was actually my next question.
Way worse.
Is this worse than that? Now, because the lady's shaving her legs in the pool, so all of her little hair is going into the pool, which is just...
so gross.
I know terrible things are floating in the pool. I get it. But do we have to actively add to it? Can't they be incidental things rather than like, yeah, I went ahead and just shaved into the pool? Oh, gosh. There's something about it that's so disagreeable.
I don't know why, but this seems less offensive. Still offensive, but less offensive. Because I know they're not vacuuming the floor of the plane. When's that happened?
Man, those planes haven't been cleaned since they built them.
Can you imagine someone doing that? They're not vacuuming. No way.
Well, that's part of what I love about this story is the idea of you go, all this painstaking things that you do in your life to be clean, to maintain this, to wash your hands, whatever. And what you don't know is that you're sitting in some woman's filed off dead skin on the plane.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy next to her. They don't show her face or anything. This isn't shaming quite like I think anybody could ever figure out who she is.
Right.
But unlike the pool lady where they showed all of her.
Everybody knows who she is.
Everybody knows who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, there's not a lot of leg room in that plane. I also noticed that.
I mean, she's not in first class because I'll just tell you, my guess is that in first class, this kind of behavior isn't even thought of.
Well, they are vacuuming up there, so they can vacuum up the dead skin after the flight.
Come to think of it, in reality, in first class, it's probably like the stewardess would be like, "Oh, can I help with that?"
Here, I don't even know how she's getting her leg up because there's so little leg room. Like, I don't even know how you're getting your leg up to file the foot.
She's got to be a short person then, right?
Yeah, she must.
She must be. So, hey, everybody, look for somebody out there who's short and doesn't have calluses on their feet. And you have my permission to go ahead and start searching feet.
And be like, is this you, ma'am? Is this you?
Was that you?
It could be.
Did you do this?
We know her legs. Like, we know the print of her shirt. And I think she's holding a bag.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know. Again, just be aware that when you go on a flight, the first thing you need to do when you get home is burn your clothes and take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are unclean. Unclean. Seriously.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, I want you to tell them what you told me.
Well, I forgot I had something pop up when I was flying. I had a long flight. It was 4.5 hours. And it was not, it was the week before. It was on Thursday. And so we were into the flight, and people are starting to go ahead and use the bathroom at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's potty time now. It's open.
Sure it is.
And you can take your seatbelt off, and it was fine. So there's this lady in front of me, and I think her husband must have been next to her. And I don't know why, but she just didn't seem to be feeling as good. There's just a lot of movement in the seat and stuff. You can tell when someone's just not feeling as good. And so she goes to the bathroom. And then I was just like, just not quite paying attention. But people kept going by to go to use the bathroom. But
potty.
Then they couldn't. And you're not supposed to wait. Like, you're not supposed to hover around the bathrooms.
Can't congregate outside the door.
Yeah, basically. So they'd have to go back to their seats. And I was just like, wow, that's just a lot of people. And then finally I noticed and I caught the time. It was probably about 35, 37 minutes at this point. This lady had been in the bathroom, and that's when you're starting to wonder, like, what happened? And in my mind, I'm going, well, do you tell the airline person? Like, do they need to knock on the door?
Did you say that she was with her husband?
Yeah, he just was sitting there. I mean, if she wasn't feeling good, maybe he knew.
You know, that sometimes he knows her habits.
And so maybe he was like, oh, this is fine. But man, it was so bad.
She does this all the time at home.
It was so bad because then finally she comes out because there's more people waiting.
Yeah.
And dude, it's just the whole plane. It just started smelling. It was just like, oh, it's you. It's you. Just don't look, though, because you don't want to be rude. You don't want to act like anything's wrong. But you're like, oh, that's bad.
I want you to know that this story that you just told, this is why you're uncomfortable in public.
Why? Don't you think other people noticed? You're in the plane bathroom for over 30 minutes. Don't you think other people noticed?
Nope.
No one would have noticed? But okay, no.
Okay, no, listen to yourself. She was in the bathroom for between 35 and 37 minutes.
Yeah.
That is why you can't do anything in public, because you think, if we went out to lunch and you got up and left the table, that we would all sit around and it would be like, start the clock.
No, but 30 minutes later, they would start to wonder what happened to me. Don't you think that?
Maybe.
Like, they all need to use the bathroom.
Yeah, but I mean, this idea that when somebody gets up and goes to the bathroom.
No, this isn't just going to the bathroom. This is you're sick in the bathroom.
Okay, and again, let me ask you this. What's wrong with that?
That's fine, but it's the only bathroom there. It's the only bathroom.
Shouldn't there have been two?
Well, there's just the one in the back. And then, yes, you can go to the one in the front as well. But, I mean, there's only so many bathrooms, and a lot of people wanted to use it.
Sure.
So what do you do then? Does someone knock on the door?
I mean, I'll just tell you that if she's really sick, I want her to stay in there.
As long as possible?
I want everything that needs to happen.
Have it in there.
Yeah.
Well, she came out. She seemed better afterwards, but
you're paying too much attention.
No, I can't after 30 minutes. That's my clock then.
Because you're like, okay, she's been in there for 37 minutes. She's coming back. Oh, she's so embarrassed. Look at how bad it is for her. Everyone's thinking about her. Everyone's staring at her.
You're saying that. I didn't say that at all.
I'm living in your head right now.
Yeah, right.
She's probably so embarrassed. Oh my gosh, she looks better. She actually looks good.
She seems like she's feeling better now.
You know, I want to go ahead and wave. Take a victory lap on that.
I think one might be worried. If I was ever in the bathroom for that long on a plane, someone might want to check on you.
She walks to the front of the plane and then walks all the way back, starts taking high fives like, yeah, yeah. What's up?
Feeling better now.
Just needed to, you know. But,
see, I can't be that way.
I'm sorry you guys needed to use the bathroom, but I got to tell you, I had some real business to take care of, you know? Nikki.
But then the whole plane smells.
Nobody noticed.
No one noticed.
Well, I mean, you noticed.
I think people notice that part.
I feel like you're your own worst enemy. Next time you notice someone's in the bathroom for 37 minutes, say, you know what? I'm not going to notice anymore.
I'm not going to pay attention.
It's totally fine.
And I don't smell that. That's fine.
I don't notice.
It's no problem.
Don't want to talk to the riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
All right, Nikki, what movies did you pirate this weekend?
I'm afraid nothing over the weekend. I'm just not a very good pirate.
Did you admit nothing? Or you're afraid? You're afraid of nothing. That's what you said. You're afraid of nothing.
Which sounds like a movie, by the way.
James Bond, Afraid of Nothing?
No, I did not pirate anything. I'm too afraid to.
What are you on? Are you on trial now? No, Your Honor, I did not pirate anything.
No, I'm too afraid to pirate anything.
What are you afraid of?
Well, you're just going to
get imprisonment.
Well, your internet provider could get mad.
They drop you.
It's too much for me.
That seems like a legitimate fear. Every once in a while, we'll do this where I'll pop over and see what, according to this one website, TorrentFreak, the top 10 most torrented movies are every weekend.
Yeah.
I love it because you've got the box office results, which are paying customers, and then you have the torrent results, which are, oh, you dirty pirate.
Well, they're
like
paying
Nikki.
in other ways. So I don't know what way that is, but
they're paying their VPN in hopes
Yes.
that no one finds out.
And then you set up, a proxy or whatever?
Something. So here you go, Nikki. You've got your top 5 most pirated things. Number 5, a Star Wars story.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, The First Purge. Number 3, Hotel Transylvania 3.
Can I put a little side note? Sometimes the pirated movies are the ones that people were not going to go see in theaters as much, whether for embarrassment reasons or like it wasn't in the budget because you saw other movies that were more high profile.
Sure.
So like the Hotel Transylvania 3, like to me.
So what you're saying is you'd watch that, but you weren't up for,
No,
paying
like you don't want to see it in public. You're not going to the theater to see it. But yeah, sure, you'll take it. You'll pirate it.
Number 2, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
See?
So these are your top 5 pirated movies
Does
from over the
Mamma
weekend?
Mia really feel like a movie the people at Pirate Things are going after?
No, to me, that's just like, wait. Does
Your mom
anybody
wants to see it, so she asks
What,
you
you're
to
downloading it for her?
Could be.
Honey,
in her-
you know how to pirate those movies,
I
don't
really
you?
want to see it right now.
Mommy needs her Mamma Mia. Know what I mean? Can you put it on a USB stick so we can put it in?
And
up
can you bring
here?
it over?
Okay, thank you. And then the number 1 most pirated movie over the weekend. This one, no surprise. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Now that, I can believe.
That feels right, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I mean, thank goodness that it's more pirated than Mamma Mia. And I'm sure the people at Marvel are like, whew,
Thank goodness.
man, I'm really glad we're the most pirated movie this weekend.
But Mamma Mia is probably excited that there's a buzz. Or no way, that's the Ant-Man and the Wasp one.
The only buzz they're hearing is the Wasp. I don't think so, because they don't get any money from that.
Well, I mean, people are still talking, and that keeps the franchise alive.
That's true. They say that the people who pirate the most movies are also the ones who buy the most movies.
Could be.
So
They just want it before it comes out.
I kind of understand that, because I will tell you right now, I don't understand what it is. I really want to see The Meg, guys.
The Meg?
I want to see it. It doesn't
You
come.
didn't see it in theaters, did you?
No, it doesn't come out until the end of October on Blu-ray, and I'm just like, man, come on.
That feels like a pirated movie. That's the Jason Statham shark movie.
It's number 8 on the list, but it says it's subbed in Korean.
We can fix that. We can work around
You just
that.
hold your thumb up so you don't have to see the Korean at the bottom.
That's a bonus.
Yeah.
You're learning.
A lot of people are paying extra for that.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Got a feeling a lot of people are going to want to apologize to me real soon.
Because
when you hear what this movie poster is selling for, you'll go, you know what? Your basement makes a lot of sense.
your art choices are really good.
This is obviously great, and I am sure that your not original print of Godzilla versus Space Godzilla that you have hanging up down there, I'm sure it's really going to appreciate in value. Mm-hmm. Then you'll see.
So what movie poster is selling?
The original The Mummy, 1932, Carl Frunz. The Mummy is it's a movie poster that's going up for auction in New York this week. They believe that this...
Good call on doing that around Halloween.
Oh, hey, good. I didn't even make the connection.
That's probably why.
Man, Nikki, you're so good at just drawing all the lines.
This would be the time to do it.
And you're like, Obadiah, don't make fun of Nikki. I'm serious. I didn't even think about the fact that Halloween is like right around the corner, right? So, The Mummy, Nikki... They think it's going to sell between $1 million.
For the poster?
I'm not done.
For what?
And $1.5 million.
No, that's what they think, and they're wrong.
The current record for a poster being sold at auction, $525,800. It was scary.
Well, why do they think this one would make so much?
Because it is one of 3 original Mummy posters that they believe to be left in the entire world.
Dude, find the other 2. That's the time you come out with the 2.
Here's a weird one. Do you know who one of the other holders is? guitarist Kirk Hammett from Metallica.
Really? I thought you were going to say Nicolas Cage or like some other like person who spent a lot of their money on some weird things.
Nicolas Cage would have been a good choice because he's bought all kinds of weird film memorabilia.
Items.
Yeah, nope. Here you go. It was the guy from Metallica. So it's going to sell this week, again, between $1 and $1.5 million.
They expect it to.
Well, okay.
It's only what it's worth when someone actually comes up with the money. So we'll see. We'll have to follow up next week and tell you guys what it actually went for.
See what it actually sells for.
So that's The Mummy, not the Tom Cruise or the other guy, but like the Mummy movie. Is that black and white?
Brendan Fraser.
But it's not that one.
Was it 98, 99, 2000, something like that? And then, it's in black and white. This is a 1932. They also say that this poster is incredibly well preserved, so that the colors are vibrant and that it's rare to find a print that looks as good as this one does, which is part of why they expect it to sell for so much.
To make so much money.
Mm-hmm. So, makes me want to go buy some movie posters, guys.
That's not the ones that make money.
No, but I still would like a couple of new ones.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on RadioU.
Real talk, I've got a tickle.
In your throat? Oh, are you worried you're sick?
I'm not worried about it, but I mean...
No, I know what it's from.
What is it?
Sleeping with your windows open.
You think so?
It is.
Yeah,
if you stop
right.
and you had your fan on, it's too much.
It's too much.
Too much cold air.
So what am I supposed to do?
Just close your window and turn your fan off. Let your body heal.
All right, it's fine.
And then your tickle will go away.
Well, you know what I was thinking is that maybe this is terrible. Okay, I'm gonna say it anyway because we're on the radio. Shock jocks.
We're all family. Come on, say it.
I was thinking my furnace is out and there's a good chance I'm gonna have to buy a new furnace. So my thought is that I'll just die and my roommates can collect the life insurance and get a furnace.
Well, that's plan B. Don't go for that for the first one.
You don't think that's a good start?
Let's try to fix it another way, and then we'll leave that for the backup plan.
Since we're talking insurance fraud, picture this, okay? I start a fire in the fireplace and go
because they'd expect you to start a fire there,
right? And then it's not my fault. A spark should happen to leap out, and suddenly the house is burned down. And it is true that I did move some of my best equipment out before the fire.
But they don't need to know that.
But that's because we were planning on doing an Obadiah Plays from RadioU, and I needed all of that equipment for the streaming setup. And then, you know what? Not even going to need a furnace anymore. Because they're going to be like...
we need to pay out the full insurance amount.
We have to pay the full replacement coverage on all this stuff. And
let's, the you dying and then that one, let's leave those as B and C.
Okay.
So, and I know the dying one, you wouldn't actually, we're just going to go fraud and you could just move and disappear.
Yeah, okay.
So you're not really dying.
I see what you're saying. So it's like we fake my death.
Yeah, you go on some long vacation.
And everybody questions why I had that wax mannequin of me made. It's perfect.
They think that you died in the fire.
Put it in the casket.
Yeah.
Bury it.
If not, we're just going to have to come up with how to pay for it.
Okay. Honestly, that's not what I was focused on. It was just when the cold hit me, it was like total inspiration. It's like, you know what we could do? We could
just pay for it this way.
Yeah. So that's fine. No big deal. It's fine. It's fine.
When it's ready, why don't we play the higher lower game on how much it'll cost to fix your furnace? Is it too real?
I'm gonna have to go to the bank. Just be like, hey guys,
I got a game to play with you. How much do I need?
What do you guys do for
grown-up stuff?
Loans to make it go away. You know, we're just gonna since we're getting loans, let's just throw it all on there. What is it? Does anybody want anything?
Now's the time you go back to school.
Yeah.
And tag it into your student loan.
Loans.
Then you can grab a new computer, too.
I will have to say a big thank you to my friend Orlando. Do you know that he gave me a huge chunk of firewood over the weekend?
Oh, did he? You were looking for some.
Yeah, so I burned firewood over the weekend.
Not to stay warm, or did you?
It was warmer.
Yeah.
I mean, it was... Yeah.
Well, that was very nice of him.
It was nice of him. What a guy, right? What a guy. So maybe he could help with my murder plot. I mean, faking it for the insurance.
No, we've watched enough movies. We know how to do this.
Yeah, I watched one over the weekend. I saw a great idea about how to hide my clothes.
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
You know, Nikki, it's hard to be a bear.
It is. I bet it is.
Bears have it really hard with
Misunderstood.
all the eating and sleeping that they have to do.
Tough life.
It's really hard out there. So they're getting ready to settle in for a 3-month nap. Oh, can you imagine how great
Talk
that would
about
be?
like body goals and like how you want to live life. It's like you want to be a bear.
They're trying to put on fat.
They're trying to put on weight
so they can sleep a long time. Excuse me, where do we sign up for the putting on fat for lots of sleeping?
What diet would we call that? Not the keto, but the bear diet.
The hybrid diet?
Hybrid diet.
I kind of like that when you're getting ready for it. You know, we'll workshop it, whatever. But there was, over the weekend in McHenry, Maryland, a bear cub that had a little problem.
What happened to him?
He got his head stuck in a bucket.
A bucket of honey?
We don't know what the bucket was or how it happened, but I do know that the bear had his head stuck in the bucket. So a group of volunteers...
Was he throwing up in the bucket?
He'd been partying too hard. I don't think that's what it was. But apparently... They've been spotting this bear in the area with a bucket on its head for like 3 days.
And he needed help.
So they ended up tracking and tranquilizing the bear, removing the bucket.
And he's still alive now?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if like getting the bear meant like, oh, we'll just shoot the bear. I was hoping it wasn't that. But tranquilizing is good.
It is funny how, like, just depending on how old the bear is or whatever, if this was an adult bear, they would have just been like,
bye-bye, bear.
Man, that's an easy one.
I get the bear
take the
and
shot.
a bucket.
Take the shot.
That's what they would have done, but because it was a baby bear, then suddenly they're going to save it.
Like, oh, we're not going to hurt the baby bear.
Look at his little paws.
Baby bear.
He looks so cute.
He is cute. He's taking a nap again, but I guess when you're tranquilized, it's not your fault.
That's just a pre-hibernation nap.
It's just a little something you got to do, right?
So he was 100 pounds. The male cub, the bucket was covering his head, and they were able to safely return him to the woods with another cub.
Mm-hmm. So he's fine. And I guess I just feel like this serves as a warning to all of us that it is true. Sometimes you get excited about what you're eating, get your face close to the plate. But
you're like, I want the cookie at the bottom of the jar.
Don't stick your head all the way in. You don't want a photo of you passed out with volunteers trying to remove the bucket from your head.
This is cute. If the other happened to you, that'd be...
pathetic. That's what they'd say. They'd say pathetic.
That'd be one of those pictures where they blur out, they give you the eye bar, but then they're showing the rest of your body as like what we're not supposed to have.
So just a reminder, friendly reminder from your friends at the riot. You know, don't stick your head in the bucket. Put your hand down there.
Unless you're on the bear diet.
Unless you're a bear, in which case it's very cute.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Mom, I'm cold.
They would be having trouble
Fix it!
with